As Nigerians celebrate its 64th anniversary, discussion around the need for a credible constitution is taking the center stage. While some eminent Nigerians believe that a fresh, people-driven constitution is essential to addressing the ongoing socio-economic challenges, others share a contrary notion. Senior reporter Ola Awakon looks at the constitutional development and legal perspectives of the discourse as he explores the divided opinion.
Nigeria has a robust constitutional development between 1914 and 1999. From the Lugard Constitution of 1914 to the Clifford Constitution of 1922 to Richards of 1946, Macpherson of 1951, Littleton of 1954, the Independence Constitution of 1960, the Republican of 1963, the 1979, 1989 and the current 1999 Constitution as amended. 5 alterations to the current Constitution since the inception of the Fourth Republic. These have informed the build-up of the Nigerian society to date.
Sovereignty belongs to the people.
But given the lingering socio-economic challenges in the country, a section of the population believes there is an urgent need for a new democratic people's constitution to achieve a truly federal structure. At the same time, another school of thought insists that what Nigeria needs is a change in the character and attitude of those who operate the constitution.
The year 1960. The place, Lagos, Nigeria.
64 years down the line, Nigerians are still debating the credibility of the constitution. Recently, the former Commonwealth Secretary General Emeka Anyaoku unveiled an agitation for a fresh constitution with a visit to President Bola Tinubu.
Deliberations of the Constituent Assembly should take into full account the 1960 and 63 constitutions, as well as the recommendations of the 2014 National Conference, and indeed of the various other national conferences.
I look at other options. The option of constitutional review, as recommended by you, and other options.
After the meeting, a National Advocacy Committee has now been inaugurated to kickstart the process. The chairman of the Patriots, a non-partisan group of eminent Nigerians, argues that it will be difficult for Nigeria to have desirable progress with the current constitution.
Even if you asked Angel Gabriel or Malaika Jibril to govern Nigeria with the present constitution, they will not succeed because of the nature of the constitution.
I sought to dig deeper into the urgency of this agitation. I visited the chairman of the newly inaugurated National Advocacy Committee, Anthony Killer, a professor of strategy and development.
So ahead of Nigeria's 64th anniversary,
why do we need a new constitution?
We need a constitution, I answer, because the constitution we have at the moment is flawed and faulty. It is flawed to the extent that almost false. The constitution starts with the words "we the people." Now, you and I and all the viewers know that that constitution is a product of a military decree. So therefore, it is not truly a product of we the people. And, but I think it would be good if the most important document of the land is actually true in every letter. If we start our lives together with a lie, we're going to have a problem, and we are having problems. So I think it would be good to have a People's Democratic Constitution.
I gathered that the idea is to design a people-driven document to be championed by 109 Nigerians, where 3 persons each will represent the 36 states at the Constituent Assembly and 1 person for the Federal Capital Territory. He further gave an insight into the planned process and it is projected to be seamless.
The process can easily be done. You need three things out of the constitution. Number one, you need an enabling law that allows the Constituent Assembly to come together. That Constituent Assembly does not need to start from zero. We're not starting from the beginning. That Constituent Assembly needs to look at all the documents that have been produced so far. The 2014 Confab, 1963 Constitution, indeed 1999 Constitution, and all the various ones that we've had. Look at them, summarize them, take away what is bad, keep what is good, add what is new. It's a summary. You do that, and you step two, you take it to the referendum. People adopt it, and step three, voila, we have a new constitution.
Hello, sir. To get a more legal perspective on the subject matter, I engaged with a scholar and senior advocate of Nigeria, Professor Oyelowo. He says Nigeria's problem is not the constitution, but the mode of operation of the legal document.
Is our problem the constitution, or is it the way we operate the constitution? Is our problem the constitutional framework, or the way we have destroyed the constitutional framework with the operation of the constitution? Is our constitution, is the constitution the problem, or the personnel or the leadership to, after all, the constitution frowns against corruption, and most of our governments are rapidly corrupt. Does the constitution preach accountability? Yes, but we subvert this. Does the constitution preach people being above the law? No, but most people in government are above the law. So when you look at our constitutional governance and our constitutional history, it is just like the saying, we have seen the enemy, and the enemy is us. I dare say, the constitution may not be the enemy. The enemy is us.
He believes that various institutions in the country need to be strengthened to ensure that the people are carried along in the constitutional framework of the nation by reflecting on equality in the operations of the law.
The constitution must function to address the problems of today in order to solve the problems of tomorrow. Because law is an instrument for social change. And where there's social change, there must be justice, there must be equity, and there must be equality and inclusivity.
Having exhausted the conversations with these legal scholars, I decided to go to the street to hear from the people.
The agitators of the new People's Democratic Constitution argued that it will take into cognizance Nigeria's peculiarities and diversity as a country, and it will also engender unity, stability, and development. But though the people on the streets believe that a new constitution is the solution to Nigeria's challenges,
the reason why I believe so is that the initial constitution we are using was a constitution that is done by the militaries, transcends to the democratic ruling that we are using at the moment. So I believe that we need an holistic. Being a federal system, we had comprises of different ethnic groups, different ideology, and different geopolitical zones, and we have different resources that lies in different geopolitical zones, and we need something that can holistically bring everybody together as one Nigeria. So a new constitution will be a way forward.
May they change them, because why are they saying may they change them? Nigeria is not like this before. As I did like this, I dey struggle, I dey do conduct race. So before me and my children go shop.
For this respondent, one thing he would like to be expunged from the current constitution is the immunity clause.
The first thing is that they should reduce the immunity clause given to all elected leaders in this country. They should reduce it. We need leaders that will be more accountable to the people. When they are being called for questioning, they make themselves available to the people to answer questions.
But others on the street share a different notion.
I think changing the constitution is not the real thing. In the earlier times of the country, when we had the old constitution, I'm talking about 70s, 60s, when we had a much better economy, was it a problem of the constitution? No, it was the issue of leadership. Because if the leadership is right and has where it is going and is accountable, you can be sure that the populace will have confidence in the leadership. and get the right results.
All this thing they call constitution is made by a man. Okay, all we need is the man to change. Okay, it's not about the constitution or the law, but we ourselves to change positively.
In my own view, an amendment is better. I will talk about the Chile occurred 2019. I actually read about it. They drafted, the Gen Zs were mostly drafted to talk about it. They wanted some things removed and they got it. They actually got it. But compared to now, their governance is still being changed. Their governance is not yet stable. Chile is facing a bit of economic crisis. So in summary, it's possible, but it's costly, and it will not bring immediate solution.
Many patriotic citizens look forward to a better society where the law governing the nation will be respected by all regardless of status. Ola Awakon, TVC News, Lagos.